Hello, hello, hello. Sure, my check 1 2. That should work. Hello, hello. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Oh, how is everybody? Do 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 do. Gonna live stream today for some feedback, some track feedback. So if you haven't submitted your track already and you are a patron or you want to submit through YouTube, then read the description. Check 1 2. Oh. Do 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 do. Got a lot to go through today. Definitely the most tracks I've gotten for a live stream feedback session. So, can you guys, everybody, hear me okay? I sound okay? We'll get started in just a minute here. Give everybody a few minutes to log in. And if there's anybody's track that I'm missing, please let me know and I will make sure to add it in. As long as you put the download available on SoundCloud, I should have your track, but sometimes I do miss some of them. Just getting the tracks ready, so it'll just be another 2 minutes and we can get started. Excuse me. How's everybody's weekend so far? It's almost over for me, but great way to end the weekend with this stream. Do 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 do. Wow, there's lots of tracks to go through. This is great. Okay, 30 more seconds and then we'll get started on the first track. Okay, let's get started. Reva, I'm still downloading as I go, so I've just downloaded a couple now. I'm gonna go through those and then I'll download the next ones. So let me just, you know what, I can just hold off another minute. We can, not a huge rush to get started. I'll go in and I'll download them so you guys can make sure. Yeah, Madman, I got yours here. Downloading right now. I've been pretty busy, so I kind of left it a little bit late. So apologies for that. I got Shihayar music. Got that one. James Reddish, Connor Hines. Oh my goodness, there's a lot. I got Rivas here. So yeah, let's go through the first track. I'll open up Ableton here. And we can get started. And just a reminder, when you do send in these tracks, you do want to put your name in the track, because when I download it, I don't know the artist. So for example, I have track ID here. I don't know who that is. Untitled 9 Unmixed. I don't know who that is. I'd have to go back in to SoundCloud and check. So I'll do that for this time, but just going forward, I'd appreciate if you would be able to actually put your names as well. All right. Grab a span. Actually, I'll grab my whole mixing rack here. Get rid of the Gulfos. We're gonna go Yulene. All right. So these are only 8. I have a lot more coming in. So if your track's not here, don't worry yet. I'm still downloading a few more, but I'm going to listen to the first track while we're getting this. This one is Work in Progress. Let me move all these down. And just want to make sure. Whoops, sorry. I just want to make sure everybody heard that. Sorry, that was loud. But please let me know if you heard that music. This is Work in Progress. Oh, I think this is a track by shoot, who was it? Okay, this is by Mick. Who is sorry, North. North is the artist. This is North DeSantis is this track here. Thanks, Eli, for letting me know. Let's get started. You want to, by the way, if you're joining the stream and you want to submit a track, check the description. If you want to support the channel, you can also check the description. Thanks to my Patreon. How you doing, Koff? Your track is up in the queue as well. Kick sounds nice. All sounds good. I'm doing well, thanks. Weekend is almost over, unfortunately, but I spent some time writing some music today, so that's always good. Okay, so the track itself is nice, but it's lacking a lot of this area right here. Like, I don't really feel the warmth from the bass. I just feel the sub, but I don't feel like the the strong like doo kind of bass, which sits around 80 to 150 hertz. I'm not really hearing that, and because of that, it sounds a bit thin. And the hat is a tiny bit sharp as well. You can see a pretty strong resonance here. Might not be a big deal, but I think you could probably turn the hi-hats maybe up a little bit. Or, no, actually, never mind, not up. Just tame that frequency a little bit. The kick could also be a bit louder. Just gonna throw a limiter on here as well and bring this up to the same volume as everything else. Yeah, so to me, the kick isn't punching through so well. Like, I hear the top end of it, but I'm not hearing a lot of the punchiness in the sub coming through. And just by the looks of it, it looks like your sub is the same volume as your bass. So maybe it's getting a little bit buried behind it. And the high end is just a little bit too sharp. So I think taming that a little bit. Maybe some more frequencies around here would be good in the mids. Alchemist, how are you? Thanks for joining. Yeah, now that my headphones are a bit louder, it is a little bit ear piercing on that hi-hat. So I would definitely look about taming those. Alchemist, you can, if you read the description, it shows you how you can sign up for my Patreon. And then you can send it through there. Okay, let's quickly listen to this breakdown. Amazing, thank you. Okay, so really cool ideas there. The track's a little bit on the sharper side. I think some of the low mids need to be a little bit louder, probably around here. And it's a little bit too sharp of a track. The overall idea of the track is nice. It sounds really good. The elements are really beautiful. And the transient of this sound here is a little bit harsh. It's almost too percussive and it's coming through a little bit too harsh. So I would maybe put a limiter or a compressor on there. Maybe a multi-band dynamics compressor, compressing just the high end. But yeah, it sounds pretty good. I'm going to go to... oh, you know what? This might have been not DeSantis. This is DeSantis here. So that must have been the Come Together remix from the same artist. So if you're in the chat, Mick, then please confirm or deny if this is your track or not. And we'll take a quick listen to this one as well. Good groove, good swing. I'm worried the kick's a little bit too loud, but maybe not. Okay, pretty loud mix. Sounds good. Nice. Overall, sounding really nice, sounding full, sounding like a very loud mix, which sounds really good. And overall, it feels complete, and there's some really nice ideas there. So it sounds like sort of Anjuna vibes. Yeah, it feels very full, very well balanced. The drums are still punching through, even when that track feels very full. So well done on that one. That was North with DeSantis. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Very well done. Up next, we have Concentrate. And see, this is the problem. I don't know who this is by, so let me see if I can find it in my history. And I'm going to try and pay attention to that for the next little bit, but I don't know if I'll be able to find everybody's. Give me 1 second. Well, I'll play it while I'm trying to look for that. Okay, so this is by Madman. Madman J. Mix sounds pretty good, but oh, that shouldn't be on. That sounds better. So to me, the kick's not punching through as much as I'd like it to. The hi-hats are a little sharp up here, some resonances. Yeah, it's a bit sharp in the hi-hats here. Nice. Overall, the sound is really nice. The idea is really nice. The kick doesn't actually sound too bad now that I fixed the limiter. I think the hats are a little bit. It's like they're very sibilant, so they sound like they have like a hard. I think if you toned that down a little bit, you'd be able to be able to turn up the hats more. Like not turn them up, but when I listen loudly, it kind of hurts my ears. So if you just reduce that sibilance right there at about 14 or 13.8K, it might be a little bit cleaner. It's probably not that big of a deal, to be honest, but overall it sounds good. The track idea is cool. Those two layers sort of overlap a little bit, the bells and then the kind of arpeggiated bell that you bring in. They kind of overlap, but I think it still works. I think it would be nice if that was a little bit further back in the mix. The bells, maybe add some reverbs with some, like there's a little bit of delay on it already, but if you add a little bit more reverb, maybe push it a little bit further back in the mix, then it would feel more atmospheric and it wouldn't be interfering with the main bell that you already have. That one feels like the main idea of the track, but this new ARP that's coming in is kind of distracting me from that main idea. So I think pushing it back a little bit in the mix would make it feel like it's more of an atmosphere and not so distracting. Very nice. Oh, love it. Beautiful track. Honestly, just great sounding track. Even though you have elements that are sort of overlapping with the same frequencies, it's sounding really beautiful, really well done, which is hard to do when you're overlapping this many things. Sorry, I'm just going to get caught up in the chat here. I'll let that play in the background while I'm getting caught up in the chat. But I've downloaded all the tracks now. So if you have submitted a track and I don't, I haven't downloaded it yet, then please let me know. There is one track by somebody. His name, I think it's in the Russian alphabet. I couldn't understand what their name was, but they didn't have the download link, so I didn't actually download it from them. But everybody else, I should have your tracks downloaded already. So if you want to check your stats to see that I downloaded it, or you should see it here when I bring it into the project. So I'll do that right now, so everybody can see if they got their track in there. And then I'll just reply to all these chat messages. I've been kind of neglecting them. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I touch that a little bit more. Okay. Can't find the donate button. Yeah, it might be in the super chat. I sent the link on Patreon. My track still isn't. Okay, yes, that worked. Did the super chat work? Was it Riva? Or Knack Impulse? Did you find the super chat button? I might have to turn it on, so let me know if it's not there. Hello, Paul. Jacoby, how are you? Thanks, Madman. Really, really good track. Hey, Paul. Alchemist, yeah, just send it through SoundCloud onto my Patreon. So you should be able to message me through Patreon. Thank you so much for signing up for my Patreon, by the way. That's great. So thank you for that, for the support. And then, yeah, just send your track through on my Patreon through direct message and make the SoundCloud link private. Well, it doesn't have to be private, but make it downloadable. Track's all sounding great. I agree. Alchemist, yeah, just on Patreon, you can message me because it won't let you put links in here. ARTN or Artin dropped your 2 links on SoundCloud. Did you send it through on Patreon? Or where did you send it over? Yeah, Paul, you can send it in, no problem. Okay, thanks, Eli. Hey, awesome. All right, let's move on to the next track here. So, oh, this is the North remix. So what was the first track that I had? I don't know which artist that was, but this is the North remix of Come Together by Knox Vaughn and Marsh, I think it is. Let's take a listen to this one.
The easiest way to get into the meditative state
Kick sounds good.
is to begin by listening.
Ooh, nice. Great bass line. Energy's high. Oh, nice. All right, Paul and Alchemist. Paul and Alchemist got your tracks now, but they will be it's first come first serve. So since you're both at the end of the list here, so it'll probably be another hour and a half maybe before we get to them, just to let you know. It sounds pretty good so far.
As you hear sounds coming up in your head, you simply listen to them as part of the general noise going on. And soon you will find that the so-called outside world and the so-called inside world
So I'm losing a bit of the groove in the top end because I find that the shakers are nice, but they're not giving me that full kind of energy. So maybe a little bit more emphasis on the upbeat of the drum loop, so that the downbeat of the kick and then the upbeat of the hi-hat, you want that to be more of a just a slight bit more of a strike. So it's just a little bit lacking for me.
They are a happening. Everything is simply a happening. All you're doing is watching it.
Really nice. I like that you're not using a very strong hat. Like, you can use shakers like this to make the groove and make the hi-hats. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think that it might benefit from a little bit more of that groove. The bass is borderline a smidgen, like a tiny bit too loud, but actually, never mind. It sounds fine. Maybe, yeah. It might be like, honestly, like 1 dB or too loud. It's just a bit overwhelming, but I think if you bring up the hi-hats a little bit, maybe it would feel a little bit more balanced. But overall, really nice. That's North with the Come Together remix. Or sorry, it's Come Together remix by North. Okay, so this one, I don't know who's it's by. Track ID 110823. That rhymed. Let me see if I can find whose it is here. Track ID. It is by Deep Papaya. So I met Deep Papaya actually at ADE this year. He came to I think we met at my event that I played at Kashmir Lounge, the Modern Agenda label party. Really nice. Him and his wife, I believe. Very nice people. Deep Papaya, if you're in the chat, say hello. A little bit loud, this track. Cool vibe. Cool. The hat is a tiny bit sharp on my ears, but it's not, well, it's not terrible. Yeah, so I think that the hat's a little bit sharp. The vibe is really nice. Synths are nice. Julia's official, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate that very much. No worries, lateral shift. I will I'll make sure I get that in the stream as well if there's time. Nice. I love that idea there. Dun, 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 dun. Very cool. Yeah, overall, the track's nice. The ideas are good. I think that hat is a bit sharp. And you could use like a saturator on that just to kind of squish down a little bit. Saturators work similar to compressors in the sense that they reduce dynamic range. So if you put like 2 or 3 dB drive on a saturator, it can help to make it a little bit louder and crunchier without actually making it peak level louder. I think that, yeah, you can just tone down a little bit of that sharpness on the on the hi-hat, and everything else sounds pretty good. Clap and everything sounds really nice. The idea of the track is really good. I really enjoy this. You could probably push those plucks up a little bit, like the lead. The higher notes are okay, like the sharper, pluckier ones, but the kind of wafty sound that you bring in there, I think could be a little bit louder. But overall, very well done. Okay, we have Untitled 9 underscore. Let me see if I can find this one now. Titled 9. Is this by Celtic? No. Can somebody in the chat, if you're here, let me know whose track this is? Otherwise, I'm gonna have to go searching and it's just gonna take too much time. Ooh. Unique sounding track. Okay, Alchemist, I got your track. Got your the new version of it, rather. Okay, it's a cool vibe. Mix sounds pretty decent. The sounds themselves are a little bit muffled, but I think that's the point. The hi-hat could definitely be louder. It's very quiet. The kick could also be louder. It's also not really punching through. Very unique track, very cool. I would play this at like an after hours for sure. Really enjoying this actually. I guess they're not in the chat, but I wish they were because I want to know who this is. I'll probably try and find out later. Really cool track. The kick could be a tiny bit louder. I don't even know if it needs to be for the type of track it is. The hat could definitely be louder. But very cool vibe overall. Really interesting. I love having different stuff on the stream and showcasing some different ideas and things. This track looks pretty mastered already. Take my limiter off. So this is Soul Connection Rickety Rocks. That's a fun name. Okay, so going with the high energy. By the way, I think this might be the most people we've ever had in the stream so far. We have 42 people right now. That's awesome. Good energy. Oh, you got a quick look at my background. That's me and Bali. Vibe on this is good. Yeah, track's cool. It's a little I wouldn't say it's really repetitive. It's getting to be a bit tedious here. It's a really good loop, so it's not really repetitive. It's not boring, but there was a long time before anything really changed so much. Can you guys hear me when I'm speaking over the music as well? Very cool. Thanks, D. Yeah, that was in Bali for my best friend's wedding. The mix is a tiny bit sharp overall. It feels kind of like this area is just too bright. I wouldn't even say sharp. I'd say bright. There's a lot of high end, and I can definitely see it now. And it's overall just, yeah, a little bit too bright. I think taking down the drums by 1 or 2 dB each would help with this. Cool track. There's no real like main lead until this part. But yeah, overall really nice. But just the mix is a bit sharp. Maybe it's the master that's caused that sharpness, but overall it's a nice driving energy, but there's nothing super memorable about the track. So, and it looks like it's mastered pretty aggressively as well. Look how loud the breakdown is. And these waveforms look very, like, pretty sausage, right? Like they look like it's limited quite heavily. If I look at the U-lean, we're probably hitting at least 8. Probably 8 or 7, I'm assuming, on the U-lean. Yeah. That's a bit too loud in my opinion. I aim for between 9 and 10 LUFS. So it's probably just slightly too compressed. Cool. Moving on to DO5. Thanks for tuning in, D. I appreciate that you always submit to the stream. And it's cool because I've been a fan of DO5's music since I got into progressive. So really cool that we're now sharing this experience. Oh, ARTN or Artin, thank you so much for the donation. And you said you submitted a track, but where did you submit it? Hola, Fabrizio. Cool vibe. Liking this. Cool. This is not what I expected from you, D, but it's really cool. Mix sounds pretty good. Oh. Did not expect that. Okay, I'll go to SoundCloud. Thanks, Julius. Where did you submit it? Over SoundCloud or on Patreon? Oh, Alan Moss, Sense of God, super cool track. Really liked it. Sorry, really liked that track by Sense of God, by Alan Moss. I put it in my latest chart, so he's just thanking me for that.
Something new, something we've never heard
So overall, the track is super cool. Yeah, super tight. Really cool track. The mix sounds balanced.
something new.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what to say about it. It sounds really cool. The only thing is maybe the breakdown's too long, but you're doing something experimental. You're pushing the envelope. I love it. It sounds really nice. It's not even long technically, but because it's a shorter song. Really, really cool. The kick actually feels like maybe it's sidechaining a little bit too much. It feels like the track's kind of pulsing a little bit, kind of like Daft Punk. If that's what you were going for, then that works. But if not, then yeah, I would suggest maybe dialing back the sidechain a little bit. Okay, let's see. Who else do I have? I have is it pronounced ARTN or Artin? I'm grabbing your track there. Okay, let's go on to Revelat. Revelat? I don't know how to pronounce that. With Element. D, great track. Thanks for submitting. I'm sure everyone here liked it as well. Overall, oh, I didn't want to miss that. Overall, it sounds really nice. The bass line. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful melody. Love that. Very, very nice. Love that. Alan, I'm a big fan of your music. So if you ever want to work on something together, I'd love to get connected. Low end feels just a tiny bit too loud for me. Yeah. Overall, the track is really beautiful, really nice, well done. The low end is a bit loud though. If you dial down the low end, maybe 2-3 dB overall, I think it would have a little bit more of an effect on the rest of the synths because they would be able to breathe a bit more. Just grabbing. Just gonna grab the Discord link. So if anybody wants to join the Discord, I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. I would love it if everybody could join the Discord. We all get to hang out, we get to chat, talk about production. It's great. Nice. Very good sound design. I love that. Very well done. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I think that the kick bass down by 1 or 2 dB at most, and the rest of the mix sounds really good. You could even push your hi-hats up another dB or 2, but it's not necessary. Up next, we have Mezcal. Mezcal. Has anybody ever had Mezcal? When I played in Mexico, I don't know who this is by. It doesn't say on here. Mezcal. Is Mezcal artist in the chat? No, I can't have it here. Anyways, I was playing in Mexico, and the owner asked me if I wanted a shot before my set, so I said yes. And I was like, oh, let's just try Mezcal. I've never tried it before. And let me tell you, it's not, in my opinion, it's not a good drink to do a shot of. It was not what I was expecting. Okay, I have the ARTN track here. I'm going to throw that into the queue. And this is, I think this is the ARTN track. So rename that. And then I have 2 more coming in. Celtic, I have your track here. Okay. I have 7 coming in. And then I have Hop and Rude. Okay, I think that's all I can really take in for tracks right now. Hobbin, can you make the link downloadable? And let's take a listen to the next track here. Nice vibe so far. Yeah, Mezcal is really nice. Just not to do a shot. I mean, mind you, tequila sometimes isn't the best thing to do a shot with either, so Mezcal is probably not too much different in terms of that, but definitely a different taste. Oh, thanks, Alan. Alan said he's a fan of mine as well. Thank you very much. Yeah, your music's really, really unique and really good. And yeah, Hobbin, send it over on SoundCloud for you. Yeah, just make the link downloadable. I am Simon. Yeah, if you want, you can still submit. That's fine. This is a beautiful track. Mix sounds good. Kick and bass are nice and gelled together. They sound really full and warm. You could probably turn your bass up a little bit more, to be honest. Like if I turn it up right around here. Like this area, you could definitely turn this up. No problem, Al. It's I downloaded the second one you sent me, so I don't know if that one's better or yeah. Really beautiful track. Oh. Okay, so overall, really nice track. The only main feedback I have is that this area, like the lead is not strong enough at all. It's not really coming through very strong. It's very quiet. This part sounds good, but it's like Vol and Sentier vibes. But I think that the lead just needs to be stronger and louder. Some of the atmospheres as well could be increased very slightly. That pluck right there, you could also increase that in volume. Basically, your kick, bass, your kick and your drums are very well balanced against each other. The bass could be louder. The lead sounds, especially here, can be much louder. The plucks can be louder. The atmosphere is slightly louder. Basically, all your synths and stuff can just be maybe 10 or 20% louder at most. Probably closer to 10 or 15% louder, and then the bass could be louder. And I think just bringing those mid instruments up and the leads and stuff won't throw off the balance of your kick and your hats and kick and your drums. And I think that it'll sound really nice when it's balanced a bit more in the synths. Okay, we have TNC temporary events. All right. Oh, here's some tracks that I didn't get after. Yeah, definitely all the I Dream vibes. No problem, Riva. Really nice track. I'm glad you submitted that one. Okay, so overall vibe feels nice. Mix feels balanced. One thing I'm noticing is that the hats have that doubled up. They sound like tss, 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 tss. They have like that bit of trill where they're hitting a bit separately. And what the problem with that is when you go to mono, it kind of just sounds like it's beat matching is wrong. So take a listen to just the hi-hats here. See what I mean? It's not very, very off, but just be wary of that. Mix sounds pretty balanced. Yeah, it looks balanced. Good. I think for a breakdown, the synths might be a little loud here. Usually in a breakdown, you want things to be a little bit quieter so that you have a break. Nice vibe, nice groove, very Maze 28. You could probably use some sort of shakers here. The distance between the kick and the hi-hat is a little bit much, so it kind of feels like there's a bit of emptiness in between. So if you added maybe some accent hats or a bit of a shaker, that fills up that space, it might sound a little bit more full, but I don't think it's necessary. It's just an idea. But overall, really nice sounding track. The energy is really nice. Like, it feels high energy, but not overly aggressive. So well done. Okay, up next we have Other Minds. Other Minds. Who sent this one? Nope, that's all of them. There we go. This track, I think, is by Rich Trello. Yeah. Rich is one of my students, actually. Which, by the way, everybody, if you are interested in learning from me more hands-on, I do offer music production coaching. So it's like one-on-one coaching with video calls. We meet over Zoom calls, and we can focus on whatever you need to work on. Your drums, your kick, your bass, your sound design, your arrangement, songwriting, whatever you need. Marketing, business, getting signed to labels, whatever you need help with, you book a call with me, and we will go over that, and I will help you improve on your music production. I have lots of students that come back every month, and a lot of success stories. People getting into the charts, people signing music to labels, getting DJs to play their songs after the coaching. So it's been very helpful to a lot of DJs and producers. So if you're interested, just send me a message on Patreon or go to my website, which I'll put a link in the chat right now. This is sounding pretty good so far, Rich. You're both welcome for the feedback. Thanks, Miran and Demir. This is sounding really nice. The kick is a little bit distorted, maybe, or just a bit muffled. So if you cut out a little bit of this area, I'm sure it will clean it up. Yeah, overall the track feels a bit muddy. The kick, I think, is a bit muddy, and maybe a little bit of this area is just a bit muddy. So you can try cleaning it up by reducing here with the EQ and maybe focusing on bringing up a little bit of this area to balance it out. I would have liked more of a build there. The bass could also maybe be like a dB or two quieter, and then you can have a little bit more room with the leads than once it's not so muddy. So if it's a little bit less muddy, you'll hear those leads a bit better. And I think they could use a tiny bit of delay and reverb on those leads to really make them feel like they're shining a bit more, and maybe a tiny bit more volume, like 5% more volume. But overall, really nice. Thanks, Rich. Okay, up next we have Cough with Echo. Hey Maze, how are you? I just heard one of these songs actually. I said it sounded like something you would write. Mason, thanks for joining. Thank you so much, Paul. I'm going to screenshot that little message you put there. D's trying to put his kids to bed while listening. Okay, hold on. There was a sound back here. That sound there, Cough, it kind of sounds like a toot. So I wouldn't recommend having that. It kind of sounds like if, you know, yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. So maybe don't put that in there, but I mean, you're more than welcome to. Everything else sounds really badass, though. I love that you brought this in here. I'm sure a lot of the people in the chat know Maze28. He just joined, so make sure to say hello. Cough's laughing now at what we said. There's actually videos of what's his name? Oh, that DJ that puts fart samples into his songs live, and oh my gosh, what is his name? Dylan Francis. Nice. The mix sounds good. The drums sound nice and sharp. The mix might be a little bit too sharp. Maybe you need to bring the low end up a little bit and the high end down a little bit. More like that. Ideas are nice. You need to edit the toot noise. You just wanted to see what I'd say. Well, thank you for that. That's hilarious. That's, yeah, pretty heavy low bass here. This part sounds really cool. Beautiful. Really nice melody at the end. Really nice ideas. I think that the mix is just a little bit too bright overall, but it's a really nice track. Mix out sounds like it's going well also. And yeah, so Maze 28 and Hob and Rooter in the chat, and everyone's giving them some love. So thanks for that, guys. Thanks for joining in the chat, and thanks for hanging out. It's always a treat when other producers come in and join the chat, because I know a lot of fans of other producers that join the chat are here. Like sometimes 40 Cats joins the chat. We've had Sabandrio join the chat. We've had lots of people join the chat. Today we had Alan Moss, whose DJ name is oh my gosh, I'm drawing another blank. You can tell it's Sunday. Moloch, that's his name. He was in the chat earlier, and it's just really cool to have you guys joining in the chat and saying hello and hanging out, because I know a lot of the fans here really appreciate that. Okay, up next we have Longshore. I don't know who this is by. Let me see if I can find out. This is by Aleum. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but it's spelled. It's just an idea, but like this. Oh, Modera's in the chat too. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, well, short and sweet. Really nice. Really nice melodies and ideas here. It's just an idea, so I'm not even really going to comment on the mix, but the mix is obviously a little bit muddy. I said I wouldn't comment on the mix and then immediately proceeded to comment on the mix. But yeah, really nice ideas. Feels very full, very lush, and I really enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to hearing the full version of that by Aleum. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And yeah, I didn't even know Modera's in the chat. I'm a fan of, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm wondering if it's both guys or if it's just the one. But thank you for hanging out and joining us. I know you release a lot of music on Colorize, and congrats on Purified as well. That's a big label. Okay, up next we have Lateral Shift with Blue Hour. Is there anybody that's not on here? Because these are the only tracks that I have left. So if I'm missing anybody, please let me know in the chat. Hobbin, did you make your link downloadable? And yes, I think I did miss yours, Julia's. Let me check right now. And we're making actually pretty good time. So if anybody else has another track that they want to submit, please go ahead. Down your new EP on Inu is so nice. Love also Noises remix. Oh, thanks very much, Maze. Yeah, that's a long time coming EP. I've had those tracks done for a long time. I'm glad they're finally out there. Just Evan today. Well, welcome, Evan. I know you're on the chat sometimes as well. Alex, your track is not there. Okay, could you send me a message on Patreon right now, and I'll make sure that I grab your track? Sometimes because I'm downloading like 20 of them, sometimes they get a little bit jumbled. I don't see it on SoundCloud. Julia's. Could you send it to me on SoundCloud? I'll put it here. And you sent me another one. Both tracks you sent me are both titled ID12, and they're both the same length. So I don't see. I just see the one track from you, ARTN. Artin. Alex sent it. How can we submit a track? Fami, you have to read the description. You just have to go to my Patreon and submit it there. So you have to sign up for my Patreon or donate in the chat here, and then you can submit your track for feedback. Okay, let's go through these last tracks, and I'll download the other ones as well. This is Lateral Shift with Blue Hour. Oh my gosh, I keep doing that. Sorry. Okay, I got yours, ARTN. Julius, I still don't have a message from you on SoundCloud. I'm going to make you a moderator, and you can post your link in the chat, okay? So, Julia's official, post your link in the chat. Bass is a bit loud. Track's cool, the bass is a little bit loud. Vibe's good now. I like that. Kind of felt like it took a little bit too long to get into the good vibe. So I think maybe bringing in something a little bit earlier. Maybe it's because of the long intro, but actually no, never mind. That's just me in my imagination. Forget that. And then Modera donated $5. Thank you so much for that. And then yeah, thank you very much, Evan. You posted DM'd me on Discord if that works. Yep, that works. I will open that right now. I feel like I'm getting a bit lost here. It's hard to explain. Just kind of like conflicting ideas a tiny bit. It's not a big deal, just trying to be critical. Nice. Oh, I like that. Overall, I like the track when it gets into it, but it felt like it's just a little bit heavy on the bass side, but not too much. Once it gets into the main synths and stuff, it doesn't feel like it, so maybe it's fine. Yeah, you know what? It's probably fine. Yeah, overall really cool track. I'm having a hard time thinking of something to say to change, which is probably a good thing. But yeah, it's a very cool track. I really enjoy it. Yeah, Soundgarden vibes, definitely Soundgarden vibes. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Nice job. Yeah, I honestly don't think can't think of anything negative to say. So well done. We got another one coming in here. Let's go. It's DM generate. Just got another donation from Fami Minif. Thank you so much. That's €5. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Do you have a track that you want to submit? I love that percussion. It's so catchy. That like very smart because it's very quiet, but it's very catchy and it adds a nice texture. It fills it up without being too obvious. Let's do it again. Nice baseline. I feel like the high end is a little bit quiet. Oops. Nice rolling vibe. Very proggy. Very proggy, very good vibe. I think the breakdown might be a little bit too busy. Like I said earlier, breakdown sometimes should be kind of pulling away a little bit of the energy, because if not, it feels a little bit too full on, and you don't really get a break from the overall volume and stuff. It's not a huge deal, but just something to consider. Nice build. Overall, the high end just feels a little bit quiet. That's really it. If I push this up. Here, the balance is a bit better when I push up the high end. Overall, really nice. Definitely could get signed by some labels. I think a pretty decent label might actually sign that, so good for you. I think, yeah, just push up that high end a little bit and you're golden. It's pretty steep. That's about a 3.5 dB rise. But yeah, that's a very popular sound right now in progressive. Something I would play. So well done. Okay, yeah, quite meanwhile, agreed. A lot of people like that one, so awesome. Moving on to Have intro, Saturn. I don't need intro Saturn idea. I think that's what it's supposed to say. May said try Balkan Connection. That Milos would probably pick it up. Yeah, I agree. That's definitely a Balkan Connection song. Sounding really nice so far. Not sure who this is by, so if you're in the chat, let me know. There's Yen again. Really nice sounding track. The mix is just a little bit iffy. The kick itself is kind of like bongy, like it's like poo, poo. It's not really a strong kick, and you don't need a strong kick for breaks like this. A nice punchy, almost like just not so subby of a kick is usually fine, but this one just feels a bit like low quality. Almost like a trance kick, which doesn't really fit here. Drums are okay though. Could have a little bit more width on the drums, make them a bit wider, maybe pan one to the left, one to the right. By the way, chat, if there's anything I can do to make this stream better, please give me feedback on that as well. Let me know in the chat, send me a message on Patreon, an email, a homing pigeon, whatever you want to do. Send me some feedback so I can improve these feedback sessions for you as well. I want to give back to my supporters on Patreon, and this is a really good way of doing that, I think. So let me know if like what you think and what I can do to improve. Love that sample in the background of that like guitar trill. Beautiful. Nice. Very cool. Loving the melody on that. Beautiful. Honestly, I'm going to keep this song. This is beautiful sounding. I love listening to stuff like this. It's really beautiful. I listen to the stuff like this when I work to keep me, you know, kind of just focused and not distracted. And it's really well done. The kick is the only gripe I have with it, really. And I think you could have a bit more width and play in those hats. Add a little bit of panning, some width, make them more ear candy, I guess, is what is the best thing that I can say for that. But overall, really well done, and I'm definitely gonna keep that track and listen to it again. A few of these I really liked. I haven't heard a single track on here that wasn't something I would listen to and enjoy. I've enjoyed every single track on here, and I'm really proud of everybody for pursuing this and getting better. I remember some of the names that come through, and people are sending stuff over and over again. Some of my students, I can see their growth, and some of the people just sending it on the stream, I see their growth, and it's really exciting for me. So thank you guys for taking the time to send these in, and I really appreciate it, and I appreciate all the support as well. Next up, we have Celtic with Frozen, and speaking of people that are regulars, we have Celtic here. And person that I can see and hear the improvement. Thanks, Evan. Oh. So, sorry, I didn't realize the volume was down on that. So that last track was the Alchemist track, and you even said that the kick is weird. Yeah, L, I love that track. Really well done. Please send me the version with the updated kick. Yeah, really cool. Really nice. Is your track here? Oh, it is. Okay. Is there anybody else that submitted that you don't see here? Please let me know. Nice vibes. Mason, what is that emoji? Is that Shrek? What is that? Celtic, let's go. This is my favorite from you so far. Really nice vibe. Dean, yes, you can still submit. Yeah, you can still submit. We only have a few tracks left. And Julia's yes. When if you turn on notifications. Sorry, everybody. Julia's just asked how they can get notified prior to the stream, and I usually post a day or two before, and then on YouTube it'll show you that the stream is upcoming, and then you can click notify me, and it'll actually send you an email. If you sign up for Patreon, I post it a week or two before I post it on YouTube so that people can submit their tracks. And lastly, if you turn notification bell on, then you should be notified of all my posts, including the live posts. So just wanted to clear that up. Celtic, this sounds great. Yeah, really enjoying it. Koff, thanks for hanging out. I will see you on the next stream. Appreciate your support. And yes, you're welcome for the feedback. Thanks for submitting. Yeah, Jacoby, is your track here, or have I not added it yet? Oh, it's a troll. And Julia said that they started learning from my channel, which is amazing. That's super exciting. I think that synth is a little loud, Celtic. The whole breakdown feels a tiny bit loud. Maybe you can kind of dial down the energy a little bit with some automation and then bring that back up. Low end might be a little quiet. Yeah. See how the high end is basically the same volume as your low end? You want your low end to be a little higher like this, maybe up 2 dB here, and the high end maybe down. Well, the high end's probably fine, but maybe just the low end needs to be a little bit louder. Yeah, Mason, a lot of the tracks here, a lot of these tracks sound like they're all coming from the same like pool of songs. It's really interesting. Like so many tracks are melodic and chill. I wonder if it's like the time of the year. But this has been, I think, probably my favorite stream because I love all these chill tracks, especially for a Sunday night, just vibing out. Yeah. Yes, Nicola, you can still submit tracks for feedback. I'm gonna cut off the well, I probably won't even cut it off because we're almost done anyways. And by the way, everybody, I am going to be doing a Discord Patreon meetup online in the next little while. I'm not sure when, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks. I think I'm going to do a Zoom call instead of a stream, and everyone's going to be able to join. Don't quote me on that. I've still got to figure out the details. But if you are a patron and you are on Discord, I'm going to have 1 or 2 calls where we all just hang out, maybe just talk about music, maybe play some games, who knows. But if you are on Patreon, keep an eye out for that. If you're not on Patreon and you're on Discord, then you can check out that as well. Depending on how many people are interested, I might be able to do it for both Discord and Patreon, and I might have to just stick to only patrons, but I'll let everybody know when I know. Mason, you're probably going to have to help me out with that one. Up next, we have ARTN or Artin with 18. You never got the finished version. Jacoby, so you didn't submit your track or you did submit it? If not, can you submit it right now? I'll make you a moderator so you can submit it if you have it here. Al, how long till your flight? I'm a huge ARTN fan, so I have high hopes for this. Oh, sorry, it's a little quiet. Oh, no, it's not. It's just quiet in the mix, okay. Oh, but are you still in the chat? You want to resubmit your track? Oh, the master version. Did I send you the master version yet, Jacoby? I thought that I sent you the mastered version. AirTN, this is really cool bass line, really cool groove. It's quite muddy. Like overall, it feels like a lot of this area, right? And not enough. But the vibe is super tight. Like I wish I could write more like this. I don't have the capacity. Like Casper Coleman, ARTN, Maze 28, like these guys, they do so many little sounds all over like the spectrum, the panning, and there's just so much sound design. I don't have the patience or the mental capacity to think of that. And I wish I did, because I love that. I think it's so cool, and so it takes so much talent, but I just can't do it, I don't think. Like, that sounds so cool to me. Nice. Jacoby, I'm so sorry. I thought I sent it to you. My apologies. Let me see if I have it right now. It was Remember Me, right? That was the project? Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry if I didn't send that over to you. No, that's not it. So I really like this track, but I feel like it needs a bit more, something more memorable. It's very technical, but it gets a bit repetitive, believe it or not. The track is called Remember Me, and Jacob, we just said, obviously you didn't remember me. You know, I mastered 2 tracks yesterday. Well, the day that I mastered yours, I mastered another one, and I think when I got your email, I thought that was like the WeTransfer link that I sent to you, but I think it was for the other person, so I do apologize for that. I'm usually pretty good with stuff like that, and now I'm embarrassingly admitting on stream that I forgot to email you. That sounds super cool. Super cool. Very, very cool. I think you need more. Maybe this needs to be over here, and this you should probably try to add something more catchy, like this sound here. You could even bring in over here and have that playing like underneath here to keep this drop different. You know what I mean? It sounds bad because it's out of time, but right? And that way this drop is more interesting, and this drop you can put over here with the other elements that you brought in to keep it interesting. But yeah, overall just needs a little bit of cleaning up in the EQ. Next we have 7 with Rosario. And actually, you know what? I feel like I should just show Jacoby his track because I left him hanging. So I'm gonna go Jacoby first. I hope you don't mind. 7. This is Jacoby with Remember Me, and this is my master of that track. So if anybody needs any mastering, I do mastering. There is a chance I will forget to email you back, apparently. Yeah, I agree, Mason. It felt like the break was a little disconnected from the main track, but sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. Maze28 said, thanks. What you do with your music is amazing. Thank you so much, Mace. I appreciate that. And You learned the concept of base layers I found from a video from me 2 to 3 years ago on a video. That's crazy. Wow, and then afterwards you gave it your concept. I'm still laughing at you saying that I didn't remember you. And Al, that's exciting. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Hopefully your furniture selling goes well. I know it's a pain. What I like about this track is that the hi-hat feels very full, even though it's not overly loud. The panning is good. It feels wide, but not too wide. I'll send this to you right now, Jacoby. My apologies again. But nice track. That'll be in your inbox in just a sec. See, this is what I was talking about earlier with the breakdowns. When you come down in volume like this, it gives the track some time to breathe. Love this. Such a cool vibe. It's like beach vibes meets night vibes. Very well done. I really enjoyed that track. I like that. Yeah, this part here is just so cool. Very unique. Hopefully you enjoyed the master, Jacoby. I have where did he go? Fami, are you in the chat still? You submitted your track, but you didn't submit the proper link. So I just need you to make sure that you send the proper link. And no one's given me any feedback so far on on my stream. No one's told me anything I need to change or could improve. So hopefully that's a good sign. But I have Alexander there. I do. Nicola. Drop that in. We're almost done here, folks. We have 7 with Rosario. And by the way, I have a new video coming out in the next, hopefully by Wednesday. I'm hoping to have it back finished by Wednesday. But it's how to make music like. So it's another one of those videos for everybody. Thanks, Herbert. I'll give you a hint on who it is. They have a number in their name. That's a good hint. Awesome. Thanks, Jacoby. And I thank you for waiting. The mix is a little dark and muddy, but overall the vibe is really good. The hat also could use some work. It's kind of like a shakery hat. It just doesn't really sound like it hits very hard. I would swap that out for maybe a stronger hat. Wow. Yeah, good guess. Lane 8, yeah. Sorry, Mason, not Maze 28, but I am covering his style. I am covering his style somewhat soon. I asked him, and we were chatting about it the other day. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. How you doing, Tura? I like that idea, but I think it would sound much better if you brought the energy back down a little bit and dropped it back in. So like you could automate out like kind of like this, like filter out some of the drums, some of the bass and stuff. And then when you come back in here, like you can start to do another build up. So it comes in, plays for a bit, and then around here, start to bring the energy back down with some filtering of the bass. Because you do a little bit of a sweep there, but I think it would be more impactful if you removed some of the low end, so when it comes back in, it's more powerful and it impacts more. But yeah, it's going to be how to make music like Lane 8. My editor is editing it right now, and it was a bit tricky to do Lane 8 because his stuff is very simple but complex, if that makes sense. And what I wrote felt like it sounded like him, but it was like too simple. I don't know. It was strange. So it was an interesting video to record, but I think it sounds pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So that'll be out hopefully in the next. I wanted to post it tomorrow, but it might be out in Wednesday. But we'll see. And then yeah, I'm trying to do more how to make music like videos over the next few months. And then yeah. So hope you enjoy that. Yeah, this sounds good. The vibe's good. I think just change that hat. I love that synth. That's super cool. I think that's a really cool idea. So well done, Seven. I think that's how you pronounce his name anyways. We have Modera with Reflections. And am I pronouncing that properly? Oh. There's some definite low-end rumble down here. I'll do an Ambrosia. I'm gonna definitely do how to make music like Maze 28. This is not what I expected, but I'm blown away. Tura, you just have to send it over on Patreon. So you have to sign up for my Patreon. We're kind of running out of time here, so if you're going to do it, you should do it now. Or you can donate on YouTube and then send the link in here. Wow, what a journey. Not gonna lie to you, I would have no idea how to do this. And this type of music, I'm so impressed. More cowbell. And I laughed at the 0 out of 10 no kick drum. That was funny. Wow, just a beautiful. I wish that was the last track, actually. That would have been a perfect way to end the stream, right? I mean, we're pretty close to the end, but Evan, really beautiful stuff. It reminded me of almost like visually I was seeing like a lot of mountains and fields and like kind of like Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and that kind of vibe, like just like epic journey vibes. Really, really beautiful. Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda type stuff. Up next, we have another track by RTN, and I know you guys are fans, so I'll go ahead and let him have 2 tracks here. Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, like one of the feedbacks I've gotten before is that some of the students or some of the producers sending in music, they're afraid to send it in because it's not progressive, but this is for everybody. Everybody can submit. We just, obviously I have a lot of progressive people in the chat because of my channel, but it's nice to have different music in here, especially because it gives a fresh perspective to a lot of different people. Apple picking quest time. Collecting mushrooms, yeah. Trying to tame a horse. Yeah, you absolutely should. Got it, Fami. Wow, what a cool vibe. Very cool. It's giving Casper Coleman vibes. Just, oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was a little bit quiet that whole time. Overall, the track, again, feels a bit muddy. But like it sounds like Casper Coleman a lot. It's really technical. It was super groovy, super catchy. I love all the sound design choices. But again, it's not overly memorable. Like, it's a cool club track, but it's not very memorable, and I think that's kind of what's holding it back. But yeah, very, very, very cool. Okay, we have 4 tracks left, and then we're gonna call it a night because it's getting late here. Getting late, I got a feeling. Love these dark pro kits. Yeah, really cool. Speaking of different genres,
Dear myself, it's time to talk. What can I do for you? What is it you want anyway? Because you're getting on my nerves. You want this, you want that. You choose this and leave that. You fake it, you break it, you never face it. You lie.
okay, I love those vocals actually, but the mix needs some work for sure.
It's time to talk. What can I do for you? What is it you want anyway? Because you're getting on my nerves. You want this, you want that. You choose this and leave that.
I like the vocal. It's really catchy and it's cool.
It's time.
The mix needs a lot of work. The sample selection needs some work. The kick doesn't really punch very hard. It's pretty quiet. See how it's basically the same volume as everything else? It's not punching through enough. It needs to be a little bit subbier, a little bit louder. This clap and the hats feel very thin, so I just think just choosing better samples would sound better. The bass sounds really nice though. And the synths sound pretty good. Just those samples are a little bit low quality, I think. But I love that vocal. Super catchy, which is really cool. The track feels very compressed. It's very loud. Probably -7 or 8. Yeah. So the master's just a bit aggressive, but The percussion's pretty distracting. It's a little bit too loud, I think, and like too like in your face. Yeah, the synths feel pretty loud here as well, a bit distorted. The drum is, the groove is good, but I think the bass might be out of key a little bit. It feels a bit flat to me, so I think work on those definitely, and come back to it. Maybe check to make sure it's in the right key. Okay. Nikola Ivanovic with Warped, another consistent submitter. Submitter? That's not a word. Someone who submits tracks a lot. All the volume. We're almost done here, everybody, so thank you so much for hanging out. Mason, I'll be probably sending you a message sometime soon to discuss doing the meetups, and if you have any ideas on how to run those, I really appreciate your help. And yeah, that would be great. I'll buy you a beer, buy you some lunch or something for the help. And I'll be doing another one of these streams next month. Probably, usually they're at the end of the month, so end of February I'll do another one of these streams. Nice vibe. Thanks, Miran. Thanks, Julia's, Modera, Mason, everybody for hanging out. It's always a pleasure. Maze, Hobbin. This track's nice. It's a bit muddy. Or maybe my ears are just getting a bit numb, to be honest. Let me take a look to make sure. So it looks like you could bring your high end up a little bit. I like that. I like, looks like by about 2 dB. Yeah, nice vibe. Thanks, Evan. Good connecting, and keep in touch. So overall, the groove's really nice, but it's just it lacks. I don't know. It feels like it's very. It's a little bit cookie cutter. If you had something else in here that was making it a bit more unique, I think it would elevate it quite a bit. Like, it's something I would play early on in the night. I think it fits well. The breakdown, I like how you didn't take the drums out until here, because that gives me ability to, when I'm playing it in a club, that people aren't going to get bored during the breakdown. A little bit more cleanliness and clarity here would be good. The notes kind of feel like they're just a little bit compressed and like they don't have much definition. And Maze said, Nicholas' track has good groove, maybe some more tonal ambiences here and there can fill it up. Agreed. Excuse me, something to give it a bit more of a professional feeling. Some atmospheres, a pad of like a big atmospheric pad or atmospheric vocal or something, just to kind of tie it all together and fill up that empty space. Maybe even a tiny bit more delay on those stabby kind of notes. Mason said, do you think it's okay to make a radio edit of a track and then submit that to a label, and then if they are interested, make it a full version? That way you can make more tracks. Yeah, I think that's fine. Your own track. Do you think it's okay to make a radio edit of a track and then submit it to the label, and if they are interested, make a full version? Do you think you're saving much time making a radio edit? Like, how much time would you be saving? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. What do you think, Maze? If he wants to send in a radio edit, like a short version of a track. I mean, like, yeah, I think that's fine. Because you could just cut off what you could do is just cut off the intro and the outro and send like a 5-minute version of that track. Cut off the intro, cut off the outro, and just in the title, just let them know that you've cut out the intro and outro so that they're not bored of it. I don't know. Personally, I'm not 100% sure. I think as a label, I'm starting my own label, and I think that I would prefer a full track, honestly, so I could hear it fully fleshed out and hear if it's not fully, if it's too repetitive or if it's, it feels complete. I would personally probably rather the whole track, but I think that, yeah, I think it would be better to send them the full thing, but I don't think it's a deal breaker not to. Because if it's good enough and they hear the radio edit and they're like, oh, this is really good, we want a full version, then I'm sure that would work, but it's probably better to send a full track. Or just cut the intro and the outro and let them know. I don't know. Okay, so we have Bami Manif. Definitely too much reverb on the hat. You hear how the tail just keeps on playing throughout? It's like tss, that's going to muddy up your top end. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Maze. Like, if they come back and they're like, we want to hear a full version, it's just they have to listen to it twice. I just think it would be better to send the full version. Yeah, no problem, mate. Thanks for submitting. Good track. And thanks for your support on Patreon. Cool melodies here. Vibe is good. The melodies are nice, but overall the hats are a bit like there's just too much going on the top end with that reverb. You lose a bit of the definition. That's nice. Yeah, agreed, Maze. That's what I was thinking too. Like, they don't want to have to listen to it twice. Good advice. Some nice ideas in this track. The mix is a little bit iffy. The low end feels pretty good. It's actually a little bit loud. The low end should be down a little bit more, and the high end is pretty loud, but it doesn't feel loud, so it's a little bit too much of a buildup of frequencies around 12K. I would try to choose a hat that's a bit punchier, so something that's more like this, nice and sharp. Yeah, ones like this where it's gonna punch through a bit better. George, how are you, buddy? I'm sure you had some fans in the chat here earlier as well. We had, we're almost done now, so we only have about half the people in here, but I'm sure a lot of people know your music as well. So yeah, Fami, the hats just need to be a bit punchier and sharper, and that way they'll feel more present without being so loud, so that you can kind of tame down those frequencies a little bit, and then more bass up here in the, more in the 200 area. And then I think the synths are a little bit buried behind the hats as well. So maybe push up those synths a little bit. I hope that helped. Oh wow, we just jumped up from 11 people in the chat to 27. But that's it. That's all the tracks for tonight. Let me double check there's no more sitting on Patreon or anything. And no more on my SoundCloud or anywhere. It's 10:30 at night for me here, so this is a perfect time to wrap up. Yes, Backsight. That EP is that might be the EP that I found him too, was Backsight, and there's another track by him. What song do I love by him? Solar Attachment. Oh, Reflectorless. I love Reflectorless too. Omega Station. Yeah, George is great. No problem, Fami. Thanks very much for submitting and donating to the channel. Appreciate it. All right, I think that's it, everybody. Let me show, you know what, let's take a quick listen to, where am I here? I would love if I could just get a little bit of feedback from you guys for this track that I'm writing. I'm just going to show you like 30 seconds of it, and I just want to see if you guys don't mind giving me just your opinion real quick. I'm trying to be like more energetic type track, higher energy, more of a banger. But I just want to know how the overall groove sounds. It's pretty muddy. It's I don't know. Every time I work on it, I feel like it just isn't. It's not hitting the nail on the head. So I just want to know what you guys think. And then I'm gonna call it a night. So if you want to jump out of the chat now, thank you everybody so much for everything in the stream. I always appreciate everybody sending stuff in, and I will see you next time. But let's just take a quick listen to this track and let me know what you guys think. Yeah, agreed. Really great vibes tonight. Oh, you guys just make me feel so much better. Thank you. Still a bit rough around the edges, but breakdown needs some work too. Thanks, Miran. Or Miran. That's basically it. I worked on it a little bit today. Yeah. The robot voice sound, when the drop hits, I'd pitched up for more tension. I could try that. Where is it? I could try that. I'll put it up. I'll put one up so I know to come back to do that. But yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for the comments, guys. I really appreciate that. So it's a remix. So a lot of these stems are mine. The only ones that aren't in here are the this, like, I took an effect and I like looped it and made this cool like bass sound. But then I have a lot of different sounds. Again, this is from the original. Maybe I should have used more of the... Anyways, so the original is very like melodic house and techno-y. It's not really my style. So a lot of the leads in the original is very aggressive. So I don't think I'm going to use them. So that's why I'm struggling to find a lead. Right, they're a bit too aggressive for me. So I don't know if I'm going to write in my own lead or just avoid them altogether or try to use theirs. But anyways, thanks for taking the time to listen. And that's gonna be it for me tonight. It's past my bedtime now. But thanks so much for hanging out, everybody. Maze, Hobbin, Mason, George, Mirren. I want to thank everybody in here. It's always a pleasure. So I will see everybody in the next chat, the next stream, and I will see you, or you'll see me in my next video going out the next few days. Enjoy your everybody. I hope you enjoy your week as well. Wow, my camera looks terrible in this lighting. Cool, thanks, Maze. I'll try that. Thanks, Modera. Appreciate you hanging out. It's nice to have some fellow artists in the chat, especially new with all the fans going around. I'd love to have you guys in on the chat, in on the stream somehow in the future. Like if I could bring you in as a guest in the live stream, maybe Mason, maybe that if you know how to do that, that would be great. We'll chat about that too. But bringing in people in the live stream would be really cool. I guess like a Zoom call would work. I'll write that down. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of